Hello and welcome. My name is Hale, and this is Tips and Tricks with ProPricer. We'll cover useful tips and tricks in ProPricer that will help you leverage your time better and get things priced. Today, I'm excited to talk about a new function available in the latest version of ProPricer, resource field values in the algorithm. This new function increases your ProPricer's flexibility when pricing estimates to get to that final price for your proposal. It can also cut down on the number of resources and indirect pools you need to maintain in your rate tables. Using resource field values in the algorithm allows you to change the formula that is used to calculate each resource on a task by simply changing a resource field value. Since you can have an unlimited number of resource fields, there's almost no limit to the customization this function allows. First, I will need to add a resource field to the system. Then, I will add an if statement in the algorithm that removes G&A cost when that resource field is used on the proposal. After that, I will test it out on a material resource in my proposal. Just a note here, you can name the resource field anything you want, and you will still be able to use it in your algorithm. You do not have to use the same names that I do here. To create a resource field, I'll click on Libraries here, and then double-click on Resource Fields here. Just a quick note about resource fields in the library. Because they are global data, when I create one, it will add it to all proposals in the system, except the proposals that have been locked. If you do not want this resource field added to all proposals, you should create a proposal resource field instead. After the resource field library opens, I can enter a resource field in the input grid. I'll call this one G&A flag. After entering the name, I can choose the type and length of values that are assigned to this field. In this case, I'll just leave the defaults on everything. Then, in the lower grid, I'll need to create a list of values that will be available for this new field. I'm going to create one value by clicking the row here and entering no G&A. Next, I'll need to update my algorithm to use the new resource field. Please note that changing an algorithm can have far-reaching implications in your ProPricer system. I recommend that you always do thorough testing before implementing any algorithm changes in your pricing. To open the algorithm, first, I'll close the resource field library. Then I'll click on Rates/Tables. Next, I'll expand the Algorithms folder and double-click on the algorithm that I want to change. In the Formula section of the algorithm, I'll need to use an if statement in order to use the new resource field. The if statement needs to use the correct syntax for it to work. I'll start by inserting the word if, then I'll put in a space, and as one word I'll enter resource field. This tells the algorithm that I want to use a resource field in the calculation. Next, I'll open a parentheses. Notice how ProPricer adds the closing parentheses for us automatically. Then I'll type in the name of the new resource field inside apostrophes or single quotes. Next, an equals sign. Then, inside apostrophes or single quotes, I'll add the resource field value that I want to link this formula to. Let me zoom in on that and go through it one more time. The exact order is if, resource field as one word, open parentheses, apostrophe or single quote, the resource field name, apostrophe, close parentheses, space, equals, space, apostrophe, the resource field value, apostrophe. After I've added the opening if statement, I will add the calculation formula like this, and then put an end if here. This end if is required to close the if statement. Another item to note here is that we are using this calculation to change how G&A will calculate. However, you will be able to input any formula that is supported by the ProPricer algorithm into your if statement. Now that I've completed the changes to the algorithm, I will need to click Publish in order to update ProPricer with the new changes. To see if the changes worked, I'm going to open my proposal by double-clicking on it in the navigation pane. After the proposal opens, I can find that material resource I want to remove G&A cost from. In this case, I'm going to look for the raw materials resource on task tank 00104. Notice, I currently have $2,102.40 of G&A cost. When I select the no G&A value for the G&A resource field, notice that the G&A becomes 0. In summary, you can enter a resource field in the algorithm to help control the pricing for any particular resource. This is done by first creating a resource field, then updating the algorithm to use the new resource field. Once the algorithm is updated, you can use that resource field to control the price of any resource. This means you don't have to maintain duplicate resources or indirect pools in order to change how G&A or any other indirect cost is applied to your proposal. In the end, this is a huge time saver. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your colleagues who use ProPricer. If you have any questions about ProPricer, or maybe even some tips and tricks of your own, please let us know. Who knows, your tip may end up in the next video. And again, my name is Hale, and as always, thank you for watching.